Welcome to the Krinzman Property Playbook, where we dive deep into the heart of South Florida's real estate scene. I'm your host, Matthew Krinzman, here to guide you through the strategies, insights, and community connections that make buying and selling real estate a science. If you're looking to move beyond the basics, build trusted relationships, and grow your understanding of this competitive market, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll be bringing on local pros, from attorneys to contractors, to give you the inside scoop on what it really takes to succeed in real estate. So whether you're an investor, buyer, or just curious about the market, let's kick things off and get you one step closer to your real estate goals. Welcome to the Playbook. Welcome. Good morning. My name is Matthew Krinzman. I am the host of the Krinzman Property Playbook. I am a real estate broker here in South Florida with a company called One Sotheby's International Realty. I've been at this for a very long time, and my podcast is all about real estate and the things that go along with real estate. Today, I have Luciana Morrissy on with me, and Luciana's going to talk about, I guess, is it home organization, right? That's your niche in the business here.
It's correct. Home organization by Luciana.
Okay. Home organization by Luciana. And by the way, and if one is listening or watching, the website is www.homeorganizationbyluciana.net. By the way, everyone who doesn't know how to spell Luciana, it's Luciana. So that's not everyone knows how to spell sometimes. So let's help them out here. So Luciana, tell me about you. Where you are, what you do, or how you got to doing what you do, and we'll go from there. We'll take it as it comes.
Right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Luciana Morrissy. I am a home organizer here located in Orlando, Florida. I've been in here for about 10 years already. And my business started in 2024, last year, in the beginning. And I actually started doing courses in 2023 when I was still working for another company. And then I decided, I think I need to do something like a different course. And everything started by there because I didn't know that I will one day open a business.
Right.
And I am very surprised with the way that was so fast. Everything started very fast for me.
Really? How
yes.
So? Just out of curiosity, you said you took a course. This is a course on home organization that you took?
Yes, it's 4.
Okay.
Actually, I did 4 courses in total, and then they basically had certification by the end. And I did some tests as well, some exams. Mm-hmm. And after that, I was, able to provide the service in the client's house. So everything started last year.
Last year, wow! You're really on a very fast trajectory here. So you started last year. You launched your company. You launched your business. What have you seen as far as your business? I'm assuming that there is a great need for people like yourself who do help people organize their homes. God knows I could help. I could use that help myself. But talk about that. How your trajectory has been in the business and where you're finding your business from. Where you're getting the business?
Well, my business is consisting in organization and cleaning plus interior design. I have families finding the good feeling back when they lose the tracking. They don't know anymore how to start with organization.
Yeah. Right.
Because also I think the population is so used to buy every day.
Consumerism, yes. Yeah. We want more. Yeah.
Yes. And then instead, let's say I will buy one item today, but I will have to donate that item immediately. This is a good way to start. But the majority of people, they buy and they never get rid of the items. So one day that amount of product will be there and they don't know how to declutter. And then this is starting to be disorganized. And this is why we are there to help people removing the items that they don't need anymore. They will donate or they will toss.
Dispose, yeah.
Dispose, because there is no other way to be on track again if you don't do it this way. So, and then we organize, we clean everything. Basically, my my job is consisting in go talk to the client first, and then we have a very good conversation about what is their needs and priorities. And I will give the suggestions of what products they will need to use, because the organizers also help a lot the clients to get, consistent. And after that, I will start the service in the client's house, because they really need that person by the side to say, you don't need this,
Right.
or you need this, or let's dispose. So
There was a woman, I forget her name, that talks about if it doesn't bring you joy or something like that, get rid of it. I forget my wife knows the name of it, that's for sure.
yeah,
But I can't remember the name of the woman who came up with that system.
It's Mary Kondo.
Okay, that's it. Yes,
Yeah.
Mary Kondo, and is the whole. I guess what it's like. It's almost like what you do, right? Hey, you don't do you have any use for this? Does this bring you any joy? No. Then we get rid of it. Do whatever, let someone else get some enjoyment from it or use from it, or it goes to or it goes to the garbage if it's just not useful to anyone whatsoever at this point. So when someone contacts you, and what's the process? Do you show up at their house? Do you have a intake with them first over the phone, or they fill out a survey on your website? How does that work?
So the process consisting like this: they contact me, and then before I started the conversation, I needed to see the ambient, the location that they need to organize. So I will need first of all or pictures or videos, and they have to send to me, and then after that I will analyze with them what is the priorities.
Right.
And after that I will start it with the links, because I do have some links for storefront in Amazon that I will help them to select the best. It's like curation that I do, best products that I normally use for help my clients, and it's from Amazon, for example.
Interesting.
And then after that, they will order that products, and I will go and start my business in their houses or offices.
So how does that look? I mean, you go to their homes, and now let's say maybe they just need a whole home organization, or they need a pantry to be organized, or a closet, or the garage, which God knows in my garage, God help me. In Florida especially, it seems like people's garages are really their storage areas. They come to storage bins instead of taken to a storage place. The garage becomes, and I know for me, that's a huge area where I would really personally love to have organized. But where are the top areas that you're organizing in people's homes? What are people calling you? Say, hey, I need Luciana, I need this, I need that. What's the number one or number two down the list?
Number one, it's they really need, because it's so much clothes, and special because of the consumers as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Consumption. And then also pantries. It's very important area, because if you don't have an organized pantry, this is going to definitely affect your health and your family health.
I agree.
And if you have so much product clutter in your pantry, you're going to say, first of all, you're going to lose your time trying to search for food or clothes that you don't have the time for that. And then what you're going to do in case of pantry, you're going to select any type of garbage item, let's say.
The easy stuff to access, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's the Pop-Tart, I'll have that.
Yeah.
Rather than make myself a proper meal or something like that.
Yeah.
Easy. I agree.
So definitely this is going to destroy, at some point, it's going to destroy your health as well, because it's so easy, the access for the products. But when you see after the organization, you're going to see what you can choose, because everything is going to be like a priority.
Right.
And this is going to help as well, mentally and physically, for sure.
So just let's take the we're talking about the pantry. So how do you organize the pantry? Do you take like the food stuff? Do you put it in clear containers so they can see what it is? You have special shelves for different obviously your spice rack goes here, your pasta goes here. Do you organize that by food types also? How does that work?
Correct. So we use the clear containers for the client to be able to see not just the adults, but the kids as well. They're going to be able to see easily before they grab any type of boxes, and everything's going to be labeled as well. Majority of the times we label. Some clients, they don't want to be labeled because they want to change after a while.
Sure.
But yes, and then the seasonings as well, the dressings, we put everything like in the Susie. It's like a round.
The lazy Susan. Yeah.
Lazy Susie. And then a lazy Susie. And then it's gonna round, and it's easy for the person to see what they have. And for the seasoning is the same. We label everything. We put everything together. Today's days we have so many items that helps, just not just for us but for the clients as well.
Right. I think one of my we're talking about Pantry. I know myself, if I'll go for the easy stuff, like, oh, there's a cookie, or rather than actually having something that I should be eating, something I should be eating rather than not be eating. Do you also? I know this is a struggle for myself at home, is expiration dates on things, that the foodstuffs. When you organize the pantry, do you have like a label saying, hey, this is good till, or, dispose after? I mean, because that takes up, because sometimes you forget, oh, I had that sauce in the back of my closet for the last 10 years.
Yes.
And you forget about certain things because everything gets pushed in the back. So I guess by organizing the pantry, now people can see better what's available. But expiration dates, I know, is a big deal.
Absolutely. This is like, to be honest with you, all of my clients that I'm having, I find 2013, 2015, it's like a big thing. And this is why we have this type of service as well, because we help not just like be beautiful, but helping in find their ways. Sometimes people get lost.
Yeah.
And they just, okay, forgot. And then they don't touch. They're never going to touch when the product is all over in so deep, right?
Absolutely.
So we have to get that back, and tons of products that is expired. This helps a lot. This is very fun.
It also probably also helps, by doing that, it keeps you from double buying too. Because people forget, I need a pasta sauce. And then meanwhile, they had the pasta sauce, but it was back in the pantry and it was probably still good, but now they forgot that they had it. So, I mean, I guess maybe that, by doing these things, it helps people from what we were talking about, you said before, consuming, being, buying more and more. This could prevent people from, or keep them from having to buy more when they actually have it, right?
Yes.
They don't need to duplicate. They have it already, like, especially food stuff, and that's something like I find myself doing as well. It's like, oh, I actually already had that.
Yes,
well,
absolutely.
And it's not something maybe I use that often or cook with that often, but now I have double, but one's going to definitely go to waste because, I really didn't need the double. That's the thing.
Yes.
So
they are very easy to expire as well.
Yes.
Especially here in Florida, we are used to when let's say hurricane comes, everybody go in the supermarket and buy tons of cans. And at some point, if you just put in the side, you're going to forget that thing. And
Absolutely.
then year pass by, and then
10 years pass by. You're like, oh, this tuna can't be good still. Or that peanut butter can't be good. So, I mean, there's certain things that can stay. Like, obviously, there's certain food stuffs that could last a long time. But, for the most part, they all have a time when you don't want to eat it. I mean, no matter how daring of a person you may be when it comes to the food you may eat. Now, so we covered the pantry, and closets was a big issue. And I, seen as a real estate agent, I go into a lot of homes showings, and the closet is always the biggest outside, like factor for people when they're buying. They look at closets and they look at how they're organized, and people get hung up on those things. That's like it becomes a roadblock for them. It is, especially when I show a home and the closets are disorganized, and they may be really nice closets, but I find where buyers just get hung up and they're like, oh, the closets are no good, but maybe the closets are really good, and they won't go back to that home because they got a mental picture in their head that I can't deal with these closets. And meanwhile, maybe they really could deal with this. So talk about that, how you help on the closet organization, organizing the closets and stuff like that, because I know that's a big struggle for a lot of people.
Right. The majority. This is very common as well. For the closet area, I always tell my clients before I arrive, please check item by item if you can, and donate. Majority of the people doesn't have what you do have, and you're gonna also help other families to, to have
I agree.
something to
Yeah.
wear, and you don't need all that, especially when it's like in the bag, it's in the floor, it looks like you don't use anymore. So donate, make
Absolutely.
something better for other people, and it's gonna help you feeling like with not so much weight in your shoulders. So this is the first option. Another thing, I always recommend to choose a better hangers. Like I will have here this type of hanger here.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
Is
it's
that
a
the is that
velvet
is that
and
the
it's
oh yeah, I have those at home. Yeah.
super thinner.
Yeah.
So this is not gonna be so busy in your wardrobe, and it's gonna help you to
Those are good hangers,
make
by the way.
more spaces. Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
and this is something that I always recommend, because let me tell you something. There is a reason for that. Putting this type of hanger in your closet, your eyes has to go to just to the clothes, focus on the clothes. If you have like different styles of hangers or colors or textures, what's going to happen is so much information is going to attract it to your eyes, and then you're going to be losing time finding. And looks like surreal, but it's definitely true. It's like you're going to see when everything is like just in the same colors, you're going to just focus on your clothes.
Interesting. I never thought of that. That's really interesting. Yeah, like the mishmash, the mishmash or disorganization of different types of hangers, wire hangers, plastic hangers, big hangers, small hangers, yeah, I never thought about that. But I guess, yeah, your eye gets distracted by those things.
Yes.
Yeah. And then your brain gets kind of overloaded with it. Yeah. And it's like, oh man, I don't have anything to wear. But meanwhile, you have plenty to wear.
Yeah.
And then I guess that's what you were saying about consumerism and buying more. It's like, oh, I don't have that. I don't have enough. I don't have a shirt that goes with my pants or my suit. Meanwhile, I see what you're saying. It's like, it's interesting that your eyes get the sensory over. It's like almost a sensory overload, and your brain can't process. The brain can't process what you actually is there, because it's like there's so much more information. I guess it's like there's more information coming in. That's interesting. I never really thought about that, but I guess I have that experience. Whenever I go to, like, if I'm in like a department store, like Macy's, for instance, if I see everything is disorganized and the hangers, the way the clothes are racked, I'll walk out.
It's the same process. Yeah,
it's overloaded. I'm like, I can't see. Then I'll go to another store like Nordstrom, where everything is organized. Everything is always in the right place. The hangers are the right place.
You feel better, right?
I feel better about Yes, I feel better about my purchase there, and it may be more expensive, but it's a definitely, there is a psychological component there, right? Like now when you talk about, I'm like, oh, wait a second. That totally makes sense. That's why certain times I will not shop at one place because it's disorganized, and I'll go to another place where it's organized and orderly and everything's in its right place, just because my eyes are focused and I'm not overwhelmed with trying to process the information that I'm trying to process there. That's interesting. And how do you bring it? That comes home now. That's, I didn't think of that now that you mention it, I'm like, now I'm going to go get rid of all my hangers.
Yes, organization is in fact like it's a system and methods that we apply in the timing of the organization that helps create functional and practical spaces for our clients. So it's very we think about before we start organizing. It's not just, because I'm going to it's like everything has a kind of a rule before we start.
Interesting. Yeah. Now that you're talking about it, now it's all starting to come together for me in my mind. So when you're organizing the people's closets, do you have systems like, organization systems, like drawers, or do you recommend you recommend even to build rebuild their closets and organize them in a certain way? Do you do any of that?
I have also a partnership with a person that builds also, the majority here in Florida, I don't know in other states, but in Florida, that it's always, the closet has an iron.
Yeah, a rack,
yes.
These iron racks there,
Yeah, that can be difficult sometimes for the majority of the clients as well, because it doesn't look so prettier.
No.
But we have some ways to do, like we can make some shelvings that helps. As well, I have a person who builds that shelving.
Oh, okay, great.
And it's gonna looks better in terms of like aesthetically and visually, and also functionality as well. So it's basically, we can make this area better with the right shelving. But also we do have containers that is gonna put, like for example, if you have sweaters that cannot be hanger, for example, tricot clothes, you have to fold, because if you don't fold, when you put the tricot in here,
It stretches.
gonna stretch, so it's gonna deteriorate your piece. So yeah, I have many things that we can make better and useful for the clients in the closet. Also, the folding part, the folding process, it's another way to help the clients as well. We have a envelope folding. I would like to show you here, but maybe in another opportunity. But the folding process is going to help to compact the clothes, and it's going to make more space for you as well. And we also do have.
You call this the envelope folding?
Envelope pattern.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
Yes, we do have some methodologies that we can add in the timing, and then everything's going to be more compact for when we put in the drawers. It's going to help you to see first and then check the colors, what you need. Everything is going to be like by the side, not in the top of each one.
I got you. So this type of folding, I mean, I'm the worst folder in the world. I can't fold. Thank God I'm married, and my wife can fold. But I would say, if you want to learn how to fold, get a job at the Gap, because every time at the Gap, they're always folding. They're always folding stuff. They're folding clothes or shirts. So they must have, those stores like the Gap have it down pat. But you're talking about the way this envelope folding system, or the way to fold by, I guess, the envelope. It reduces this, because usually, like a sweater, or sometimes gets bulky. They're bulky, so they take up a lot of space in one's drawer. They can, a sweater can take up a whole drawer essentially. So but by doing this way, you actually have more. You compress it more. Is that it? Is that it?
Exactly. Yes, you're gonna compress much more, and then you're gonna be able to see, because let's picture a drawer, okay? And normally in the closet, the drawer is a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
And then it's like higher, like this.
Right.
And then you're going to be able to, when you fold everything in the envelope, you're going to be able to instead put one in the top of each other. You're going to put one in the front of each other. And then you're going to see texture, you're going to see colors, you're going to see if there is any type of printing. So it's easier, this method. And you're going to be more compact. You're going to be compressed. You're going to compress the clothes. So it's not going to be everything like in piles.
Yeah, that's the trick with sweaters. I mean, we live in Florida. I know. Look, down here in South Florida, don't really have much occasion to wear a sweater, because it obviously doesn't get that cold. But I do have some sweatshirts, once that I will pull out of the closet or at my drawers every so often. When it gets down to 60 degrees in the wintertime. But that's interesting. I think I have one or two sweaters, but mostly sweatshirts. That's at this point, because it's never cold enough. But thankfully, we don't. That doesn't take up too much room in our closets down here. What other areas of the house you like working in and help in organizing? We covered the pantry, the closets. Is there any other areas that you help organize inside the
this office?
Oh yeah,
many people call for office because it's the area after COVID more, because people start to work
from home. Yeah.
And they need that space organized and more practical for them. And still today, some families, they still working from home.
Yes.
Or not. And they want that area, that part organized. So we do some organization for office. And after the office will be the garage.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about the garage. How do you help organize the garage? Because like I said, we talked earlier, especially down here, I'm probably in Orlando and the rest of the state of Florida, it's probably the same. The garage is the storage area for the home, for the owners. How do you help organize the garage?
Well, actually, I will have a garage tomorrow in Deltona to organize. So I will tell how is the process, so you guys understand. So I will arrive in the client house, and then I will have to remove every single item from the garage. It's going to be everything.
Wow.
Hopefully the weather is going to help. I believe it's going to be a nice weather, but it's hot.
Yeah, it's getting hot now. Yeah.
Yes, and then as soon as we remove everything from the garage, and prior that, in the consultation, I will tell the clients the majority of the times to buy shelving, and you can get the shelf like the strong shelvings, like iron,
Yeah, the metal racks. Yeah.
storage better, and it's like basically more strong. And you're going to storage the containers, the bigger containers, 27-pound LBS.
Yeah.
And then it's going to help as well. And everything is going to be out. We're going to start to select the items, what you want, what you don't want, what is toss and disposal, and donate. So it's three different systems that we're going to apply in there. And then we start the process. And then after everything is clean, you're going to have to clean everything, right?
Sure.
And then we started the process of organization with like seasonal. Sometimes majority of the families, they put the garage as a storage for seasoning.
Yeah, for seasonal use. Yeah, for like Christmas decorations or decorations, home decorations. Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to start this, and I'm going to put labels as well in the containers to make everything easier for the family. And then majority of the times, when we organize everything, they can also put the car inside. Look at that.
I was about to say that. The one thing that they won't have to take out of the garage when you come is the car, because the car's never in the garage.
Never.
Even when you have a 2-car garage. I mean, some of these, maybe if you have a 2-car garage, maybe 1 car can get in there. But I've seen, look, again, like I've seen plenty of garages, no matter how big or small they are, there's no car in them. Yes. Once in a while, if I do see a home where I'm showing a home that has a car in it, I'm actually shocked. So,
yes.
And I make the joke. I'm like, oh, you didn't use it as storage. You actually used it for your car, which is impressive. It's funny.
And then if you think about this, your car is very precious.
Oh, yeah.
It's very expensive. Especially in Florida, we never know if somebody gonna, make something, break the windows and whatever. But you have to think about priorities. Priority is always your car, because this is what garages are made for.
Yes, that's the intent. Yes. That's the intent. The purpose becomes something else. Yes. Most of the time. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to put my car in the garage too someday. All right, so we covered, the pantry, the closets in the bedrooms, the office and the garage. Is there any other places in the home that could be, help in organization or in storage, other than those areas? Is there any other else that you recommend to help organize?
So the families who has kids who have the playrooms, the playroom are a very big thing, because normally what the families does, they do have the rooms, but they don't know how to use the rooms. And what it's happening is all the toys will be in the living area, in the everywhere in the house. So we have to focus. Kids, they need also organization. When they are organized, they will think about, okay, this is I like. I have a 5-year-old, and I always ask, son, do you like organization? And he said, I prefer organization. So we know it's a big thing for kids as well. When they have their space organized, when they see everything in order, they will start to maintain this focus on that. And you have to always to explain, listen, you don't like this or disorganized, so let's put everything. When you play, it's fine, but you put back. So you start to create that method in the kids' minds as well. So if you have like a house who has at least a little space, just make a very nice toy space to play there. And that's it. Doesn't come outside of that.
Right. It stays in that area. And like you said, like with your own child, your son, it's like it teaches them to be organized in life, which there is a method to that madness. Now, when we're talking about it, that there is, by being, someone who's organized or has an organized home, or, has learned, to appreciate being organized, they may be better off in life. There's something, I guess there's like it takes that mental, if you're disorganized in your home, then you're going to be disorganized mentally, or in your brain. Everything's going to be jumbled. So this is probably not probably, but it sounds like it's really a way to clear your mind of clutter too. Because
Yes.
now your brain and your sensory is, your eyes, and which is obviously then is your first way of seeing things. And then the brain is processing that information. It can go like, I don't want to deal with it. Or, okay, great. I see where everything is. I see where the cornflakes are. I see that my pasta sauce is going to expire. Is expired this day, and I don't need to go buy another pasta sauce because I have pasta sauce, or I go to my closet, I have shirts, everything is, I have the right shirt. I have the sweater that may break out once every year, and then my garage, I can actually put my car in the garage, which would be nice.
The organization is very fundamental. It's the basic for a beautiful life, for a successful life. If you want to be successful in your life, organization is key.
I like that. That's the key takeaway right there, everyone. Print that.
Yes.
The organization is the key to a successful life. Now, I think that's the way we end it. Now, you hit the keynote there. That's the key takeaway. Everyone who's been listening or watching, that is the takeaway from Luciana. And I think this is a very way to wrap it up, actually. So let's just get in one more time. Luciana, how do people find you? Where can they get to you?
Yes, I do have a Google My Business as well. If you want to see the reviews,
great.
We are 5-star reviews.
I saw that. Yeah, 5 stars, which is excellent, which is helpful.
Just put on Google Home Organization by Luciana. You can find me. And the good thing is I travel. I go to Miami. I go everywhere. Last year I went to Seattle and I was assisting 2 clients there. And if you like living in another state and if you have friends, it's better because I can plan. Like I can stay 1 week there and then I can do your house and your friend's house. And it makes easier as well.
Interesting.
Share.
Okay. That's
right?
Good to know.
Yeah, so it's happening pretty much like that with people who lives in another state. And I can travel, so it's not a problem for me. And you can find also on Instagram account, Home Organization by Luciana. You're going to be able to see all my portfolio and every day about Luciana. So it's a good opportunity as well. And then the website, it's homeorganizationbyluciana.net. And that's it. And Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, how are you finding most of your customers and clients now? Is it by word of mouth or is it just people finding you online? How does that happen?
Word by mouth. And then of course, Google My Business is like helping a lot because it's more, you can track the location, target the location, and then it's always helpful. But the word by mouth is what's happening as well.
Yeah, because you get a good recommendation from someone who's used your services, and that always helps. I mean, look, tell you the truth, base of my business is based on word of mouth or referrals from other friends, family, customers, and clients I've had in the past, and that's the highest recommendation anyone in a service industry business can get is a recommendation from someone who's used your product or used your services. So again, Luciana, I appreciate this, that you came on today with me, and talked about what you do. This is great. I like how you ended it with that quote. I hope when the editors do this, when they put this all together, that will be the quote page for you, because that's really what it's all about. And then it's really just having a good mental state about where you live and how you are.
Yes.
I like that.
And one more thing that I want to bring up,
Sure.
The key for success, it's something very important. Like every single item in your home has a home.
Yes.
So let's say if you get this note, everything that you take back, you're going to put back. Everything has a home. So with this in mind, you're always going to be organized.
Got it. That's great. I like that. Thank you. Luciana, it was really a pleasure to have you on. I hope everyone who's listening and watching learned something valuable and a good takeaway. And if you need your home organized, call Luciana. Like you said, she'll travel. She'll come to you, no problem. So that's great. I like that kind of service. And hopefully we can, work together. I can recommend you to other people that I know down the road. And have a great day. I appreciate it, Luciana.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Thank you, everyone, to watch this video. And then hopefully we get organized together.
That's it for today's episode of the Krinzman Property Playbook. I hope you've gained some valuable insights and feel inspired to take your next steps in the real estate game. If you're ready to make a move or need expert guidance, let's connect. Whether you're buying, selling, or looking to invest, I'm here to help you navigate the South Florida market with confidence. You can reach out to me directly through my website or on social media. Let's get the conversation started and make your real estate goals a reality. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on the Krinzman Property Playbook.